Welcome to our travel map tutorial. Today I will be showing you how we can make the travel map as seen in the Indiana Jones movies when they travel from place to place. Let's see what we will be creating. As you see, the map travels along with our travel line. The travel line is dashed with some landing points as seen about here. On the background we see the plane flying through the clouds and passing some pyramids. Let's see what we can do. Okay. First of all, you're going to need some images. You can find them on Google. You're going to need some clouds. You are going to need an airplane. You're going to need mountains or pyramids, whatever you prefer, and a huge world map. If you search on Google for this political map of the world, I think it's the first one. It's about 6,000 pixels, and yeah, you go search the images and then come back to the tutorial. Okay, you found the images? Great. Let's create a new composition. We'll call this landing marks. We'll make it 300 pixels by 300 pixels. Click OK. It's about 20 seconds long by the way. We create a new solid and we'll make it white. Click on OK. OK. Double click on the ellipse tool. If you don't have the ellipse tool, hold down your mouse button and you can select it from the list. Double click on it and it will make a perfect circle. Okay, with the layer selected, click with the layer selected, push the S from scale, click on the stopwatch and it will make a keyframe for our starting point. Set the scale to 0, move a few frames, about 20 frames or whatever, and we'll set the scale to 100. Now we're going to duplicate the layer, hold the layer selected, click on edit, duplicate. With the layer selected, still selected, we'll choose layer solid settings and we'll make this red. Okay, and new. Click on U. No, never mind. So we'll move this red layer a few frames forward, and as you see, we now have a landing mark. Click on with the red layer selected, click on U and it will bring up the keyframes, and we want to go to this keyframe. The easiest way is to push this little arrow here. It will go to the next keyframe, this arrow, previous keyframe. With this keyframe selected, we'll make the scale 80%, and now we have our landing mark. Great. We'll make a new composition. We call this render comp. We'll make it 1280 by 720 pixels. Okay. And now we will drop in our world map. And And now you want to find your first starting point from your route. The easiest way is to select the title action save. Then you will have the cross point here, and that's your middle point also. So now you want to find a starting point from your route, and we'll start in Amsterdam. With the layer selected, click on the P for position, click the stopwatch, and it will set a keyframe and will move about 5 seconds further, and we will select our next point on the route. Let's go to Astana, and it immediately creates automatically a new keyframe. We'll move further about 10 seconds and choose our next point. I'll do Cairo, and it made another keyframe, and we'll choose our last point and we'll make it Madrid in Spain, where it's always sunny. I come from the Netherlands, so in Spain it's more sunny than in Netherlands. Whatever. Okay, so now we have our route, as you see. Next, we want to make our world map look a little bit more old, because now it's too modern. In effects and presets, type toner. Here we have CC toner. We drop it on our world map, and you can see it already looks much older, but I want it to look more orange. If you look at the Indiana Jones movie, the map is also orange, and we're trying to recreate the Indiana Jones travel map. So yeah, so I'll make this auto. With our first keyframe selected from our travel map, we'll drop down our landing marks, and then we'll pick whip to the world map, click the world map, click on P for the positions, or U to bring up the keyframes. Then we're let's see, we'll put down 1, 2, 3, 4 landing marks. So another landing mark, another one, and then no, delete. With the landing mark selected, click edit, duplicate. We'll go to our next keyframe from the world map with this arrow, and we drag our landing mark to that place. Oh, it's a bit huge. So how can we fix that? Double click on the landing marks, and it will bring us to the composition settings, and we will try 50 by 50. Shit. Our landing mark, as you can see here, is too big, so we'll press S from scale, and we bring the scale down to the right size, about 7 pixels. With the layer selected, we push edit, duplicate, and we'll move to our next keyframe with this little arrow, and we'll drag the duplicated layer to our middle point right there, and we'll trim the beginning of the layer to that point, to the keyframe. With the layer still selected, edit, duplicate to the next keyframe from the world map, and we'll drag our duplicated landing mark to the middle point, drag the beginning of the timeline to the keyframe, move on to the next keyframe with the landing mark selected, edit, duplicate, again drag the selected layer, where is it? Again we'll drag the duplicated layer to our final point, and we drag the beginning of the timeline to the point. By the way, if you hold down shift, it will snap to the time ruler. Thank you. Okay, so now we have our route planned out. Now we want to create our travel line. Make sure that no layers are selected, otherwise it will go wrong, it will cut in the layer. So to do that, click outside all the layers and none of the layers are selected. Now select the pen tool and we will click on the first start point, and it immediately creates a shape layer. Pick whip the shape layer and parent it to the world map, and bring the keyframes again, and we'll move to the next point, and we'll click with the pen tool on that point. Oh. Make sure the shape layer is selected, click on that point. So now go to the next keyframe, and now we move to the next keyframe from our world map. Don't push the layer, just the arrow, and we'll click with the pen tool on the second point, and it immediately creates a line. By the way, if you make sure your fill is off, you can do that by pressing the fill and then this thing. Okay, your stroke set to red and about 9 pixels. However, if you want your line thicker, make it more, and yeah, you get the point. Okay, moving on to our next keyframe. Again, press this arrow, don't push the layer, and we'll click on that point with our pen tool. And again to our next keyframe, and we'll click with the pen tool to our final point. Now we have our route line, And now we're going to animate the line. With the shape layer selected, drop down, and we'll contents shape 1, and we will add trim paths. Now we've got trim no. With the shape layer selected, we will choose stroke, scroll down, and we'll push this little plus sign behind near dashes, and you can see we immediately created some dashes for our travel line. If you slide this number, it will make the dashes larger or smaller, whatever you prefer. I'll choose about 27. Click again on the plus sign, and we will have gaps. The gaps is you can make the space between the dashes taller, for larger, or if you put on 0, we'll have the solid line again. So I'll choose about 11. Now we want to animate our line. Okay. Let's see. With the shape layer selected, choose add trim paths. On trim paths, you have the start point and the end point. The start point, as you can see, it leaves from the start point and it moves on. So you want that to be 0 because you want to start at your start point. We'll set a keyframe on the end point, and we'll put it down to 0. Now we want to go to the next keyframe from our world map, and we'll set the end point from our travel line to the landing mark, and it immediately creates a keyframe for that. Then we'll move on to the next keyframe from our world map, and again we travel the line to our next point. About there. And again, next keyframe world map, and to the 100%. So now we have our animated travel line. I still think the line is a bit I still think the line is too flat, so we'll make it look more 3D. First of all, I drop the travel line beneath the landing marks, and we'll choose from effects presets, drop shadow, and it already says here drop shadow, and we'll put it under shape layer. So now as you can see, it looks more three-dimensional. With our shape layer selected, I want to make it with the opacity setting to 100, softness to about 21. So now we have our travel line complete. Now we want to add something to the background, our airplane. to do that, we'll make a new composition, and we call this BG for background. Make it 1280 by 720 pixels. Click on OK, and we will put our clouds in it. As you see, my clouds picture image is much bigger than our composition, and that is perfect because we want to animate the clouds. We'll drag the clouds to the left. With this layer selected, push P for position, click the stopwatch, go to the end of the composition timeline, and we'll drag the clouds to the right. Now we grab our picture from the airplane, scale it down, hold shift to scale it down, and we have to cut out rotoscoping the airplane. I will just go through this very fast. You can do it all perfect, of course, but for the sake of tutorial and the time, I'll just do it roughly. Feather it out. Clouds, effect, color correction, tint. That looks much better. So now you can see the clouds are moving, and it looks like the airplane is moving. Of course, you can also do it with the airplane. So, yeah. Back to our render comp. We'll grab our background layer, drop it in our composition, and we'll move the background beneath all the other layers. So immediately it's vanished, but we'll get to that. Select all our layers, click the above layer, hold down shift and select the world layer, and we'll choose our modes to multiply. Ta-da! It's amazing. By the way, if you don't have this, you can push this button and you'll find it. Now our world map looks, the orange color is a bit disappeared, so I want to do something about that. Select the layer, effect, color correction, hue and saturation, and we'll bring the master lightness to about 11, saturation to about 50. We can also double click on the background layer, and we will select the background layer, the pen tool, and we will cut the above the upper section. Choose click M and choose subtract, and we feather it. And we'll bring the background layer a little down. So now we reveal a little bit more of our travel line and so on. So yeah, that's about it. Now we've got our airplane flying through the skies, our travel line. Oh wait, when it comes into Cairo, we want our oh, I forgot my pyramids. When it, you can so that's about it. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. By the way, if you want to no, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Yeah, have fun and go travel a lot. One more thing, I see the white from our landing marks is gone. How can we choose the landing marks and choose normal? So yeah, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Now you can travel all around the world and show everybody your route, like Indiana Jones. So yeah, thank you for watching, and till next time.